Hey everybody, this is Tpull. Well, my name is Travis, but I'm known on Magic the Gathering Arena as Tpull. And you're in Tpull's corner. And if I've done the release in the right order, we showed you a traditional green-white Magecraft deck already. But I was wondering about what do you do if you mix it up with red for the Magecraft? Just because I haven't really seen it done. I'm sure, I haven't gone searching on the internet, I'm sure somebody's done it. I'm sure everybody's done everything by now. But I haven't done it before, and I haven't seen anybody use one on me. So we took the Clever Luminancers with the Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy instant or sorcery, they get +2/+2 to the end of the turn. And we added in the normal, what do you want to call it? The normal, I'm trying to think of the movie, The Normal Scoundrels? The Usual Suspects, that's what I'm trying to go for. The Lean-In Light Scribe. Now, I don't have 4 copies of him, I only have 1. So I have to have proxies for him, I have to have stand-ins for him. But we'll go through the whole deck real quick. Okay, so because it's Magecraft, and we're dealing with these very cheap creatures, the average mana cost is only 2. I've got 18 creatures, which doesn't sound bad, and only 19 lands because it's so cheap. Out of the lands, I've only got 1 field rune. My most expensive card, starting at the top, is Lorehold Command, where I can create a 3/2 creature if I need it, or creatures control get +1 and gain indestructible and haste until end of turn, which I think works really well with the Luminancers. Can deal 3 damage to any target and gain 3 life, or sacrifice a permanent and draw 2 cards. The other 2 big cards I have are Blade Historian to give everybody double strike, which might be fun, and Showdown of the Scalds, an enchantment saga where I can exile the top 4 cards of my library and then play them, and whenever I cast a spell, I put a counter on the target creature I control. So it's a little bit like a Magecraft adjacent kind of spell, the way it feels, the way it plays, and I think it's going to work out kind of nicely. Okay, starting back at the 1-drops, we have the Clever Luminancers, we have Guiding Voice to put a +1 counter on somebody and learn Get into our sideboard. We have 3 Homestead Courage, so you can put a +1 counter on the creature, give it Vigilance till the end of the turn, so you can possibly use it as a defender, and it's got flashback, so if you have enough mana, you could use it 2 times in the same turn, because it's so cheap. We've got 3 copies of Monk of the Open Hand. I went down from 4 to 3 because of the other creatures that I put in, basically to make room for Blade Historian if I could. But again, this cheap spell, we've got a lot of mana. We could, put down Monk first turn, put down Homestead Courage or second turn with a couple of white mana, and make him a 2/2 on the second turn. 1 portable hold to get rid of the cheap stuff right away up front. 3 copies of Kick in the Door, put a +1 counter on target creature. That creature gains haste until end of turn, and you get Venture into the Dungeon. Now, you might not think that venturing into the dungeon is that noteworthy, and it's true. Most of what I'm doing is because it's a sorcery, it'll trigger the Luminancer. The haste is good because I can trigger the Luminancer and attack with that turn. That's the biggest thing that I'm using it for. But don't underestimate the ability to venture into the dungeon at strategic points in time. Depending on what dungeon you go into, you could gain much needed life at the beginning. You could scry, get a treasure if you need it, get a goblin if you need it, make your opponent lose life if you need it. Or you can go straight at the beginning and start having your opponent lose life. Since we're managing to hit them early and often, hopefully with the Luminancers and the assorted characters, we should be able to use this card to get an extra life hit on them, so to speak. Maybe 2 or 3 if we're lucky. Make your mark, instant. It can be either a red or a white. Target creature gets +1 until end of the turn. If they die that turn, you create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. So I might try and hold this if I've got it and plan for my creature to be destroyed either by attacking or blocking, or just if my creature is about to get zapped, just because it'll give me that 3/2 chump blocker I'm looking for. 1 copy of Beaming Defiance. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains hexproof. I was thinking of bumping this up more, but I kind of lost room for more than this. But we don't have the green card, Snakeskin, right, which gives us hexproof. So this is still 1 card that gives us hexproof. Still 1 copy of Clarion Spirit. Whenever we cast our second spell, we create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying that you see to the right. 1 Disenchant for target artifacts or enchantments to destroy those. Removal, destroy target creature or planeswalker. The Light Scribe we've seen before, right? You cast the instant or sorcery spell, creatures get +1/+1, but only till the end of the turn, but it's all creatures we control. 2 copies of Luminarch Aspirant. This is what I have in place of 2 of the Lean and Light Scribe creatures. This gives me +1 constantly on my creatures. This means that if my opponent doesn't have a lot out in the early rounds, but I have a Luminancer, I can buff up the Luminancer and still attack with it and get a couple of points in. Revitalize to gain 3 life and draw a card. 1 Bloodthirsty Adversary. Here's one with haste. It's a 2/2 to start with. If I get it in the middle of the game and I have enough extra mana, I can pay another 3 mana and put a +1/+1 counter on Bloodthirsty Adversary. Then I get to exile that many target instant and or sorcery cards with mana value 3 or less from my graveyard and copy them. I get to cast those without paying their mana cost. This is basically just a way for me to cast my instants and get double use out of them, right? If the game is lasting long enough, and I've already got a couple of instants in the graveyard that I've used on my Luminancer, I can bring 1 or 2 back and cast them for free on the Luminancer again and get extra value from them. In case we come up against the fast green decks or the green-red decks that are, they're mostly green-red landfall decks, this will help me get rid of the lurkers that are 4/5 that untap with the life gain, that kind of thing. First Day of Class, another one that gives you haste and a +1/+1 counter, but also learn that gets you into your sideboard. So we have 4 cards so far that get us into our sideboard. Sudden Breakthrough, target creature gets +2/+2 and First Strike, which could be essential for surviving when it's blocked, and you get to create a creature token. Kai's Onslaught, you can foretell this if you want for 2 mana at first, and then just cast it for 1 instead of 3 later. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains double strike until end of turn. Nice. Mavinda, Student's Advocate, just one of this, but it's a 2/3 flyer, and its special ability, you can target an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard, and if you cast it on your own creature, you do have to exile it, but you can play it again. So, similar to Bloodthirsty Adversary, we're dipping into our graveyard after we've already used something to reuse it and get more use out of it. Rally Maneuver, target creature gets +2 and gains First Strike, and then up to 1 other target creature gets +2 to their toughness and gains lifelink until end of turn. Angel Fire Ignition, is there a better card? This is from Innistrad. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on a target creature. It gains a whole bunch of mechanics here. Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, Indestructible, and Haste. That particular combination has the potential for life-saving in this game, in this particular deck, and also has the potential to be a game winner in this deck. I have 2 copies of that. 2 copies of Lorehold Pledge Mage. This is, again, to make up for the fact that I only have 1 Lean and Light Scribe. It's a 2/2 creature. It has First Strike, which I like. Whenever you cast or copy a spell, it gets +1 until the end of the turn. Rem Careless, Stalwart Slayer. Flyer with haste is just an awesome card to begin with, but if a spell would deal damage to you or another permanent you control, you prevent that damage. If the spell would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage +1 instead. We don't have to worry about the second part quite as much. I don't have a lot in the way of direct damage besides the burning hands, so to speak, for the most part. But just having a flyer with haste can itself, that could be the hinge on which the entire game turns. Venerable Warsinger, another red-white spell. Vigilance and Trample. Whenever Vigilance Warsinger deals combat damage to a player, you can return a creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard directly to the battlefield, and it's not tapped. X is the amount of damage Venerable Warsinger dealt to that player. So basically, everything except for the Blade Historian I can bring back with the Venerable Warslinger. And if I just add a +1 counter on Venerable Warsinger, I could even bring back Blade Historian if I lost him. That's the deck. We're going to take it for a spin. We're going to see how well it does. In the meantime, as always, we need likes, we need comments, we need subscribers, we need all that stuff. Please give us some. Please, sir, can I have another? All right, here we go. Gross.
the length of the saga. I believe we can be heroes.
How did he do that? Excellent. Enchantment, sorcery, instant, creature, artifact. One of just about everything. That might be a perfect hand. It's all relative to what my opponent has. Landfall deck. Ugh. It's probably red-green then. Which is good, because I do have green. Green killer right here. I don't want to use it on him. I need more land now. More land, please. This is my replacement for the green dragon creature with Magecraft. He only gets the plus till the end of the turn, but he has first strike. Well, that took you a long time to think about. A creature and it has damage. So it's not a landfall deck after all, it's just a bunch of cheap creatures. Which is fine, I guess. Let's see how much removal they have up front. They should have a little bit something that packs more of a punch than just shock in their deck. But it also means I can't really use him as a blocker because I could easily have shock and finish him off. And since I already lost my one creature, I can't really lose my other one right now. Usually for mono red with a bunch of single amount of spells, they don't spend a lot of time thinking about this. Attack and pump it up and get 3 points of damage. Yeah, he's thinking about killing my flyer. Yeah. Okay, that's the most expensive spell he's had so far. And I'm going to go ahead and do this so that we can at least get rid of somebody who's inflatable, so to speak. Alright, let's see what else we got in the deck here. We can play that card. He's not having any land problems. I'm just hoping that this is not a direct damage spell. It is not. Okay, so we get to learn. What do I want to do against these people? I guess expanded anatomy. Okay, next. I have to be careful here. Okay, we got haste. Gains haste until the end of turn. So let's do this. That uses all my mana. We got no blockers. Got back nearly all my life that I lost already in one single turn. That is the power of Magecraft. Do you have something that takes out a 4/5 creature? I don't think you did before, so I don't think you do now. Yeah, I'm not going to really care about single points of damage right now. You have fun with that. I'm looking at what other stuff I can do here. Target a creature we control. Sure, why not? Can I stop that? Flashback for 4. It's a sorcery there. Oh, wait. Instant. Target a creature. Showdown of the Skulls. 3. 2 doesn't stop it. Gain a life. There's a white-red Magecraft deck. Seems to be doing okay. So far. only one land, but I do have a couple of creatures. I like that. Okay. Let's see if we can get a counter on Monk. Okay. You come out now. You come out second. I do need a red land or I'm going to stall out pretty quickly. Alright, let's go get it. Mountains it is. Do you want to block or you want to take it? I don't know. I don't think I have a Dream Devourer yet. I really want to have 4 of those so that I can do that. But you can't foretell during your turn. So you've got to attack, otherwise it's a waste of the 2 power, right? And we don't really care if you attack. We only care about us being able to attack. So, another one of you comes down. Can I stop that? I don't think I can. That's fine. I got my monks now. Okay, 1 counter and haste. Everybody gets pumped up. Each player loses 1 life. Let's see how quickly we can make this go. He's got green, so I'm hoping he puts down a green creature. Nope. Is he gonna kill one of my guys? No. Okay. Flying in haste, 2 points. 5-turn kill. Okay, we're wading into the deep end, and by that I mean we're actually playing a standard ranked with this new deck. Just to see what happens when we kick it up a notch in terms of the competition. I love getting the Snarl in my first turn. I don't have anything else in the way of tapped lands, I don't think, in this entire deck. Okay, they are going to have a pretty fast hand, though. And I can't do much about it. Man, they gave me a lot of lands. We've got a Faceless Haven already. Let's get Venerable Warslinger out first. I'm probably going to be dead if he has a Blizzard Brawl handy. So maybe I should have waited a turn. Can't power Faceless Haven yet, though. Alright. Let's destroy Faceless Haven now. Get one more mountain. And let's do Homestead Courage. I already have Vigilance, but it gets it out of my hand. Makes him a 4/4. And since he has Vigilance, he can make him a 5/3, but he has to spend all of his available mana to do it. I'm okay with that. My enemy, of course, is always going to be Blizzard Brawl. Which I may have made a mistake, because I had a free mana. I should have given him one more counter to protect against that. But really, he could have pumped him up with 4 to make him a 5/3 and then did the Blizzard Brawl, so... yeah, see? That got it done anyway. Five, 6, 7. I guess I need to put another feature down, don't I?
Hello there. I shall teach you much.
Vigilance till end of turn, sure. Put a counter on you so you gain haste. Let me gain... actually, let me scry and see what I got coming up. If it's another land, I don't really need another land right this second. Okay. Let's get rid of you. And we'll just attack. Already knows I can't beat you. Not that way. Another Faceless Haven. Lots of lovely threats. No good to block you there. And that's a lot of damage coming my way. Create a blocker. So you gain trample if you... yeah, they both have trample, so that doesn't necessarily help me. But that does give me 7 life. Great.
Harm the trees, and you will rot at their roots. From root to canopy, the trees are mighty.
Really? What am I gonna do? Can I do that now? That's a sorcery, right? I can't cast that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Showdown of the Scalds, no. You. Who'll attack you? Got a block with your tree. I get life back. Oh, he's not even gonna block? That's very strange. What happens? If I do that. That's how you use Venture into the Dungeon with this deck. Okay, that's the deck, and I am keeping this puppy. There are some times where you have an idea for a deck, you try it out, you experiment, and it doesn't work that well, and you just have to toss your idea away, whether you think it is your baby or not. But this one it can be very fast. You can have like a turn 4 win. Sometimes if they see what's coming their way on turn 1 or 2, if they don't have an answer ready, they'll just scoop. The fact that we do have some cards there's a card that costs up to 5 mana. We do have it different from a lot of the normal Magecraft decks, because a lot of the normal Magecraft decks are really hoping for a quick win, or they're just really in trouble. And this one can actually get us a little bit into the mid-range. We had some really interesting matches, and I really like the fact that Venture into the Dungeon helped win a deck, or helped win a match. I really helped that showing off Rem Careless at the right time, at just the right time, also helped win a match. So each card is I don't have 4 copies of anything except the Clever Luminancer in here. Everything else is there for a reason to, and I hate to use this word because it's so it's so embedded in the business world with corporate nonsense. But there's so many synergies with the way these cards play off of each other. I really enjoy it. I really liked playing this deck more than I thought I would. So it's going to hang around. I think I'm going to test it out more on the standard rank too and see how we do there. Alright, I hope you enjoyed it. It shouldn't be too hard, I don't think, to get all the cards. We do have some rares here that you can see. But, like I said, I don't have 4 copies of stuff. I only have 1 copy of some stuff, 2 or 3 copies of other stuff. And, yeah, try it out yourself. Let me know if you play with it. Leave some comments and let us know if you'd recommend other cards for a red-white Magecraft deck. Thanks for hanging out with us. Come back again. There's always going to be another new deck right around the corner at Tpull's Corner. Have a good one.